Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about a piece of tech you've probably already used today, maybe without even realizing it, the AI chatbot. You can think of it as this tireless digital assistant that's totally changing how we get things done online. You know the feeling, right? You've got one simple question and you're stuck on hold, listening to that awful music, just watching your spot in the line slowly, painfully creep forward. What if that whole nightmare could just go away? That's the promise we're going to unpack today. And here's the hero of our story. An AI chatbot isn't just some little pop-up window. No, it's a seriously powerful tool. It's designed to understand what you're asking, in plain English, and get you an answer right away. It's basically the ultimate antidote to waiting in that queue. Okay, so let's get into it. How do they actually pull this off? Well, the first and maybe most obvious advantage is that they are always, and I mean always, on duty. Think about it. Real human agents have shifts. They take weekends off. They need to sleep. And that creates huge bottlenecks, right? Especially if you're in a different time zone. A chatbot solution is so simple, it's kind of revolutionary. It never clocks out. It gives you the exact same instant help, whether it's 3 in the afternoon on a Tuesday or 3 in the morning on a Sunday. So yeah, being available 24/7 is huge. But what's the real reason businesses everywhere are jumping on this tech so fast? Let's dig into the core value that makes these things a total game changer. What's really interesting here is the domino effect. When you automate all those simple, repetitive questions, it's not just that you slash your operating costs. You're also freeing up your human team to deal with the really tricky stuff, which, guess what, makes the customer experience even better. It's a classic win-win situation. And if you had to boil all that business value down to just one single powerful idea, it's this: constant availability. It transforms a website from just a static online brochure into a dynamic, interactive place that is always open for business and always ready to help. So that's the what and the why. But how does it all really work? Come on, let's pop the hood and take a look at the tech that makes these digital assistants so smart. Think of it like you're building something with blocks. At the very bottom, your foundation is artificial intelligence, just the big, broad idea of a machine that can think. The next block you put on is machine learning, which is what gives the system the power to actually learn and get better from data. But to do that, it has to understand us, right? That's where natural language processing, or NLP, comes in. And then, the final block on top, the engine that makes the whole thing go, is a large language model, or LLM. That's what creates those conversations that feel so human. And let me tell you, out of all those layers, NLP is the one that feels like straight-up magic. It's the key ingredient. It's what makes the difference between a dumb bot that only gets keywords and a smart assistant that can figure out what you actually mean, even if you use slang or, make a typo. It gets the intent, not just the text. I know. All this text sounds incredibly complicated, doesn't it? But here's the beautiful part. A business doesn't have to build some kind of super genius AI right out of the gate. You can start small with what we call a minimum viable product, or an MVP. And this analogy is just perfect. You start with the blueprint. That's your MVP. It's a simple, rule-based bot that handles a specific list of questions. But that same blueprint, it has the potential to grow into a full-on skyscraper, a conversational AI that can handle transactions, understand your voice, and even figure out how you're feeling. And getting that initial blueprint built is way more straightforward than you might think. You don't need some massive, complicated data set to get started. You just begin with the content that most businesses already have, a list of their frequently asked questions. And boom, that becomes the brain for a basic but super effective chatbot. Okay, so we've seen where chatbots are at right now, but where is all of this headed? Let's take a peek at the features that are really defining the future of this tech. The future is really all about deeper smarts and better connections. Imagine a chatbot that doesn't just give you an answer, but actually books your flight or places your order, all while speaking to you in your own language. A bot that remembers you from last time and tailors the whole experience just for you. And the wildest part is, a lot of this isn't sci-fi. It's already here. But maybe the most mind-blowing frontier is what's called sentiment analysis. This is where the AI levels up from just understanding what you're saying to understanding how you feel. Is that customer getting frustrated? Are they confused? Are they happy? Knowing the emotion behind the words, that's the final piece of the puzzle for a truly helpful and maybe even empathetic response. And this brings us to the big final thought. As these digital assistants get better and better, moving from just processing words to actually understanding human feelings, we've got to ask ourselves, what does that mean for us? When the machine on the other end can not only fix our problem, but also show a little empathy, well, that's going to change our relationship with technology in ways we are only just starting to wrap our heads around.